Hey guys, welcome back. This week's video is going to be a combination of January favorites and February favorites because it's already mid-February and I haven't done a January favorite. So all the things I've been loving these past couple of weeks, and one quick thing, just got back from upstate New York. It was really cold and it was really dry and my skin's freaking out, so it's really dry and patchy and my eczema is just not having it. So this is just, yeah, so my neck's like this. Someone asked in last week's video, like, oh my god, like, are you okay? What happened to your neck? I'm fine, it's just eczema. So this week's favorites: 2 books, 1 song, 1 movie, 1 thing, and 2 beauty related things. One of them is coconut pulling. One of them is oil pulling with coconut oil, and the second thing is I found my skincare thing, and this is it, and this is all I'm using now and all I'm gonna use probably for the next couple of months. And I've returned every other product I've bought that I talked about in the previous videos because thank you, Sephora, you can do that. All right, the first thing I want to talk about is a book. It's a businessy self-help book called The One Thing: The Simple Truth Behind Extraordinary Results. So if I could summarize this book in 1 sentence, it would be: think big, with capital B, capital I, capital G. Think big, but focus on one thing at a time. The central question of this book is it's a focusing question. Dog, relax. It's a focusing question, which is, what is the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? And this can be applied to, what is the one thing I can do this year? What is the one thing that I can do this month? What is the one thing that I can do this week? What is the one thing I can do this morning? What is the one thing I can do on this vacation? What is the one thing, you get my point. What is the one thing I can do blank such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or necessary? And this book could not have came at a better time in my life. This was towards the end of December, beginning of January when I first read this. And if you guys remember from my New York City vlog of me sitting in JFK questioning if I should continue doing this, if I should continue... Oh my god, you need to relax. Questioning if I should go back to my old company, new company, find a new company. Sorry guys. But yeah, anyway, this book helped me really put my focus and help me figure out what's the most important to me and how to use that and how to give that thing, whatever the most important thing to me is, my undivided attention. So the most important thing to me right now, it's making videos, creating content, anything that has to do with video, directing, producing, editing, blah, 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 whatever, learning my craft and learning this whole thing and just getting better and better at it. And the book really does a really good job of, the author does a really good job of helping you ask yourselves the hard questions to figure out what's the most important thing to you. And the second part of giving it your undivided attention, if the book is broken down into, oh my god, there's something in my eye. It's broken down into sections where it talks about goal setting and then now time blocking, mastery, what it means to master something with the 10,000 hour rule and being fully accountable for yourself. So I'm gonna read a quote on accountability while we're at it. This really helped me because I'm not self-accountable for myself at all. So taking complete ownership of your outcome by holding no one but yourself responsible for them is the most powerful thing you can do to drive your success. This is exactly what I needed to hear. It also talks about how when life happens to you, there's one of 2 things you can do. You can either be the author of it or you can be a victim of it. So that means you're either going to be accountable for it or you're going to be unaccountable. And whatever it is that you do, that decision is going to follow you for the rest of your life. And when I read that, I was just like, damn, I need to start being more self-accountable and taking myself and my work and my job more seriously. And thank you for, what is the author's name? Thank you, Gary Keller. Thank you, Gary Keller, for making me realize all of these things and for helping me find my one thing. So at the end of the book, the author strings everything together. So the premise of finding your one thing is so that you can live an extraordinary life with extraordinary results, which translates to living a meaningful and fulfilling life. And the ending of this book, there's another quote: "A life worth living may be measured in many ways, but the one way that stands out above all others is living a life of no regrets." So there's this study done with a lot of older people who are on their deathbeds, asking them what is the one thing that they regret most. And the top 5 is: number 1, they wish they let themselves be happier. Number 2, they wish they stayed in touch with their friends more. Number 3, they wish they had the courage to express their feelings. Number 4, they wish they hadn't worked so hard. And the last one, which is the most common among all the answers, is: I wish I had the courage to live a life that was true to me, as opposed to a life of what others expected of me. And when I read this, I was just like, this is, yes, all of these things that he talked about: purpose, life, living a life with purpose so that you can live a life by priority, so that you can live for productivity, so that you can live a life that's fulfilling and meaningful. I was just like, yes, this is everything that I already value and everything that I already believe in. And having read that in this book, learning about all of these things, it was just like, thank you, this is really helpful. So kind of writing off of what that was of living a life full of no regrets, and kind of meditating on mortality and just being aware of time and how valuable it is to be alive, and how precious our lives are, and how fragile everything is. The second book I want to talk about is When Breath Becomes Air. So this book really just, so much perspective, so much, so real and so honest and so emotional. And it was so beautifully written. It's along the same veins as Tuesdays with Maureen and the last lecture, of someone who is about to pass away, who is reflecting on their life, or who is sharing with us the life that they've lived, so that we can kind of learn from it, or we can just take whatever it is that we want from the last tidbits of nuggets of wisdom that they kind of enlightened to towards the end of their days. The main question that guided the author's life was, what is the meaning of life? When he was younger, he started devouring books at the age of 12. He's always been really interested in finding, like, living a life worth meaning and helping people. So when he went to college, he got an undergrad degree in English literature as well as biology, because he realized to be able to conceptualize and think about the meaning of life, the brain needs to function. So the two aren't mutually exclusive things. It's actually, it could go hand in hand. So he became really interested in neurology and how the brain worked. And he ended up going to, I think, Cambridge for a year to get a master's in philosophy, and then he ended up going to med school at Yale, graduated cum laude, top of his class, went back to Stanford for residency, and he slowly worked his way up to become one of the best neurosurgeons in all of the country. And sitting at Cafe Gratitude working in, I just wanted to take a break reading, but I ended up reading the rest of the book, and it got to a point where I was just towards I think the last quarter of the book, I was holding my Kindle up so that my friend couldn't see me, so I won't distract her, and I was covering my face because tears were streaming down my face. It was so good, guys. It was so touching and so emotional and so beautiful, just the way that he wrote his words, his thoughts, his wife's words. And I love these kind of books. It's a little intense, and it could be, I didn't cry in like I don't know, I think I cried out of respect and admiration for how strong and how amazing he was as a human being. And so thank you, Erin and Kim, for recommending this book to me, because it has touched my life and really made me remember all the things that are important to me, and how, you know, anything can happen to you at any moment. So live the life you want to live, be the person you want to be, so you won't have to look back and regret. Alright, so next song. Let's just make this mood a little happier. Alexa, play California by the Lagoons.
I can't find California by the Lagoons.
Alexa, play California by the Lagoons on Spotify.
I can't find California by the Lagoons on Spotify.
Alexa, are you connected to the internet?
Yes, I am connected to the internet.
Then how come you can't find that song? Sorry guys, technical difficulties. Alexa, play California by the Lagoons on Spotify.
California by the Lagoons from Spotify.
It's so chill and relaxing, and I just love the vibes and the saxophone in this. I've been playing it non-stop, and I think I'm not gonna stop playing it for a long time. Alexa, stop! Alexa, stop! So cool. Alexa! Yes? Yes? Okay, stop. Alright, so movie, Edge of 17. Thank you, Andrea, for making me watch this video because I loved it. It was such a great coming of age video. I love the character that Woody Harrelson played in this movie. He was a teacher and just such a dry, sarcastic human being that I really love. So the premise of this movie is a 17-year-old girl who just does not get along with her brother. That's like one of the main plot lines, and also she's just doesn't get along with anyone her age because she's just such an old soul and she doesn't like any of the things that her peers are doing. Yeah, it just reminded me a lot of anyone growing up feeling like they don't belong and then finally facing all of their fears and all of their problems and making peace with all of their fears and all of the things that used to bug them. The awesomest thing about this movie is there's an Asian dude, and it's gonna be spoilers if you want to watch it and you care about these things, cover your ears. The Asian dude ends up getting her at the end of the movie, which is awesome. And yeah, he's such a cute person. He's so funny. So like really awkward, kind of. He reminds me a lot of Richard Hendricks in Silicon Valley, and I just love those type of characters and those type of personalities. So great movie. Give it a watch, or at least watch the trailer to see if you're interested in watching it. And next, something that I have been loving are these glasses from Warby Parker. They are clear and they're super it kind of looks like I'm not wearing glasses, but then I am wearing glasses, and it just, I love it. Sup. I really like it. And if you guys aren't familiar with Warby Parker, I love the brand and everything that they stand for, because for every pair of glasses purchased, they'll donate one to someone in need. And you can also try 5 frames on at home. And if you like them and if you want to keep them, keep it. If you don't want any of them, return it. No cost, free of charge. I'm going to link everything down below so that you guys can check it out. And I'll leave it on. There's kind of a glare. Okay, so the last 2 things. A few weeks ago, caught up with a friend. She told me about how her skin broke out randomly and she just didn't know what was going on no matter what she put on her face. It wasn't really helping until she started doing some research online, realizing that perhaps it's because of her gut health that's affecting her skin health. And she looked into what are some ways to help improve the connection between the two, and one of them was oil pulling with coconut oil. And what it does is basically your mouth, there's a lot of bacteria, there's good and bad bacteria. When you rinse your mouth with, let's say, standard mouthwash that's you know, high in alcohol, it actually kills both the good and the bad bacteria, which isn't that great for you. So the alternative would be using coconut oil to oil pull, which is what that means is just swishing coconut oil in and out of your teeth for, they say 20 minutes. I start with 5-10 minutes because it can get kind of intense. But what that does is, because microorganisms in your mouth, they're usually a single cell, and these cells are made of, the cell of the skin is usually a lipid, which is a fatty membrane. And because the oil of the coconut oil is fat and fat usually adhere to each other, so that when you spit out the coconut oil, also the bad microorganisms also come out of your mouth. When she explained that to me, I was like, this is very interesting. I've heard about coconut oil since like 3-4 years ago, but I've never really tried it out because, I don't know, it just seemed kind of strange. But studies have shown that it does help fight against plaque, gingivitis, and it does make your breath not as smelly. There's also a few other claims that haven't been exactly like completely proven by science yet, and it is whitens teeth. It helps improve your immune system and helps make you more alert and gives you more energy. It helps with heart health. It helps improve your skin. So all of these things are all added benefits that I think is really awesome. So I was like, you know what, let me just try it out. And I don't know if it's because I started oil pulling or because I changed my skin routine, but my skin, it's my skin to begin with, it's pretty okay already. But with this oil pulling, it just, I think my skin cleared up even more. Like, it's brighter, it's more like moist and supple, and I don't know. It might be oil pulling. I haven't been that consistent. I've been doing maybe once every other day because it's kind of intense and it makes me want to gag a little, which from what I read is because your mouth is releasing toxins that have been built up because of oil pulling. But yeah, I think that's it's something worth trying out, especially given what my friend told me of how, when I saw her skin was beautiful and vibrant and clear and not breaking out at all. So when she told me that, I was like, huh, this is very interesting. So I'll keep you guys posted if you're interested, which brings me to my last point of my updated skincare routine. So I briefly mentioned this in my previous videos of how I want to be a lot more self-aware, a lot more conscious about what I put on my skin and what I put in my body. I've always been very conscious of what I eat, but when it comes to makeup, I haven't been as conscious as to what I'm buying and what I'm putting on my face. So did research, and I've always heard of Drunk Elephant. I've always loved this brand, their vision and just their mission of what it is that they do using all natural ingredients. For everything purchased, they donate money to help elephants, and I think this is so awesome. This is everything that I love, but there's this weird thing where I was scared that if I buy it, I'm gonna like it and I'm just gonna spend a lot of money on it. So I haven't bought it for a long time, but I ended up buying a sample pack from Sephora that it made me fall in love. And once I bought it and once I tried it, after 3 days, I was just like, this is it. I'm gonna continue using this forever. So this one, so what I do is, I'm just gonna like walk you guys through this routine. I wash my face, pat dry, use a toner, and I'll put on this Be Hydra Intensive Hydration Gel. Twist open, twist close, super cool. It's like a clear gel, and it basically quenches, moisturizes, and illuminates. It's like this works well in conjunction with serum. So I usually use this first to get my face nice and hydrated. If it's the daytime, I'll use the C Firma Day Cream. This, just an advance, it smells kind of funny, but I'm okay with it because I know it's good for my skin. And there's L-ascorbic acid, and pumpkin ferment extract. It's good for people who have freckles, I guess, like me, dark sunspots. And at night, I'll use this night serum. Not even gonna bother trying to pronounce that. So this is for nighttime, and this is a clear gel. This is like this popped open earlier, so I wonder if I could pop it open again. Damn it. struggling. Nope, I'm not gonna try to break it. So day serum's like this orangey color and there's a little bit of a smell. The night serum is clear, and I will finish it off with this, the Lala Retro Whipped Cream. This is like a very thick, luscious cream for your face, and I love how it's, you push it and then it comes out from the middle. Ew. Yeah, I'll use it later, I guess. Yeah, so updated skincare routine, and yeah, the sun's almost set. My whole room is dark. I think because the window's there, it looks light, but it's very dark in here. And I think that's it. I will see you guys in next week's video. Real talk real quick, I haven't done this in a long time. Like last week's video, I was kind of jittery and nervous. And this week's video, it took me, I started filming at, I think, 11, and it's almost 5:30. So guys, this is serious business. Like it's not easy, and I might have a hard time cutting it because I just there's a lot of fragments, and I'm not gonna bother you guys with the details, but I just wanted to let you guys know and make just wanted to let you guys know, and let me give you guys like a little OOTD of this is just like my setup of my laptop, and then I'm wearing sweats and sweatpants and socks, and it's not focusing, but alrighty. Damn it. Alright, okay. Alright. Bye. You guys can just see my hands. Alright, bye. See you guys next week.